Claire. How are you today? How are we doing today? Type in the chat. I want to see you respond. I want to see you respond. How are we doing today? Let me see. Can we hear me clearly? Can we hear me clearly? Can we hear me clearly? Type it in the chat. Let me type it high in the chat so you can continue to respond there. Okay, so you can type in the chat. Can we hear me clearly? All right, fantastic, fantastic. I can hear you loud and clear. Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Musa. Okay, you're welcome to today's session, and my name is Mohammed Suleiman, and I'll be your host for today's session. And I've prepared and I've cooked something very interesting and delicious for us today. Okay, and it's something that's going to be very practical. You want to do it with me, we'll be able to do it together. But if you want to do yours later on, okay, maybe in your free time, that's also possible. But before we get into it, I would love to know where you are joining us from. Are you joining us from Nigeria, maybe somewhere in Lagos, Abuja, Canada, Kaduna? I nearly said Canada, but yeah, if you're joining us from outside of Nigeria, I'd love to know as well. Kenya, South Africa, Ghana, I would love to know, or somewhere in Europe, maybe UK or Germany. I would love to know where you are joining us from. Okay, Kaduna, so much joining from Kaduna, Abuja. Okay, fantastic. Lagos, Port Harcourt. Okay, so Ghana. Okay, that's Kwabena. You are welcome into this session today. All right. So let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming while others join us. Let's keep it coming while others join us. Ibadan, Nigeria, Meduguri, Nigeria. Fantastic. Okay, so while we have that coming in, I would also love to know if you are joining us for either the first time or you're joining us, you've been joining our sessions maybe more than twice. Okay, if this is at least your third time of joining us, you can type regular. If it's your first time, let me know. Type first time. I'd love to know if it's your first time joining us. Okay, quite a good number of people joining us for the very first time. You're welcome. Somebody joining us for the second time. Brilliant. You are also welcome. All right. So I'd love to know that. I'd love to know that. Let's keep it trickling in the chat box. Fantastic, fantastic. So it's good to have you here today. Okay, okay. I have somebody join us for the first time. All right. Um, okay, fantastic. Who's that? That's Adiela, if I pronounce your name correctly. I mean, fantastic. It's good that you've been helping us to proclaim the word out there. A lot more people need to actually hear us, and that's why it excites me every now and then when we have new faces, fresh set of people who are seeing us for the very first time. I'm always excited to have that on board. Guys, you need to look into the chat and see what Adela Sam typed in the chat box. Okay, and that's exactly what we're going to be dishing out today as well. Okay, so today we're going to be doing something fantastic. Something fantastic. We are going to be building a stunning portfolio to attack tech recruiters. So let me ask you, how many of you want to even get into tech? How many of you want to get into tech? How many of you want to get into the tech ecosystem? How many of you? If you want to get into tech, okay, tech isn't that as hard as it sounds. One thing you need is a project portfolio, and we'll build a portfolio from scratch today. If you think it's impossible, stick around for the next, let's say, 1.5 hours. and we're going to do something together very brilliantly, and we'll get to learn more about how a portfolio would benefit you in getting into the tech space. If you do not have a portfolio and you want to get into tech, you are on a long thing. All right. So let's go ahead with this session. So for the benefit of those who are seeing me for the very first time, my name is Suleiman. I am the Chief Operating Officer here at Naviant Analytics, and I'm pushing on a decade of experience in the space, and I've had the opportunity to work with top firms on the global level. Notably, I worked with Alfa Romeo. Alfa is one of Italy's largest luxury car brand, and I worked with their branch in the US remotely from Nigeria specifically. And I've had the opportunity over the course of my career to mentor and help over 3,000 Africans to make the switch into the tech space. All right. And I also love to mention that I transitioned into tech as well. I was not born a tech bro. I transitioned into tech as well. And you know, uh, if I am able to transition into tech, you can also do it too. I have my background in mechanical engineering. My first degree was in mechanical engineering. Now today, I call myself a successful data analyst and scientist. So that's about me. And for those of us who are analytics for the very first time, Naviant Analytics is an edtech firm. We exist for a reason. Okay. Now, in my experience working on the global scale, one of the things I noticed was that Africans form a very small portion of people in the tech world. And the reason is very simple. I got into conversations with many white folks, and one of the reasons, or one of the things that I picked out after our conversations with a lot of them, about 90% of them were able to transition into the tech space because they had premium tech training. Okay, premium tech training. And when this as at the time, at the very start, when they said premium tech training, I was like, there are so many training programs in Africa. What do you mean? Nigeria alone have so many tech training programs. So what do you mean premium? And that was the difference. Now, a premium tech training program is a program that would not just teach you the technical aspects of what you need to learn to transition. They would make it practical and to mimic the real world. Okay, so you can learn experientially. Plus, they would give you a a lifetime support in terms of career career skills like CV revamp, TV job matching, interview prep. So anytime you have an interview, you can reach out, to prepare for the interview, even after a program has ended. So all of these lifetime offers and a lifetime access to your all your training materials, you get it from a premium tech training brand. That is exactly what Naviant Analytics is bringing to Africa to help Africans. All right. So having said that, okay, we came here for a reason. Right? We came here for a reason. How many of us want to own our roadmap for today? What we're going to be doing today would hover around three things. Okay. Um, the first thing is I'll tell you how to become a tech talent in 2025 by building a okay, and then we'll go into our earlier support. Like I said, you only get these from a premium tech training program. What's career support? What exactly is our extra career support? We'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about some success stories, some of the participants who joined our program and got jobs, um, and then a special announcement and a question and answer towards the end of today's session. Fantastic. See, Firdaus is excited to be here. So I want to know who else is excited to be here today. Who else is excited to be here today? Who is excited to be here? I want to know, give me a thumbs up if you're excited to be here. Precious is excited. Precious is excited. Liz is excited. Priscilla is excited to be here as well. Quite a number of people. Daniel, fantastic. We are excited to be here as well. Brilliant, brilliant. People are excited. Fantastic one. Now, having said that, okay, what you can see in front of me is the one thing you need to finally crack your way into the ecosystem. If there is one thing you're asking me, oh, Muhammad, what you tell me that my feet come shine, I will be able to crack tech ecosystem and get myself into it. It is a strong portfolio. And that is what tech recruiters look out for. Recruiters are not blown away by a pile up of certifications. That does not, it doesn't move a recruiter. All right. What move a recruiter, the kind of project you worked on. All right, the kind of project you have worked on. That is exactly what a tech recruiter would be fascinated by. All right. And there are so many of our students who have been able to build their portfolio, of course, through our help. And all of these people you are seeing here, built their portfolio having no prior tech background, through one of our materials, which I'll be talking about a little bit more today. And they're able to build their portfolio. All right. And when you get hold of this slide, I would want you to look at each of the portfolio. Okay, you can look at the Bro Alawale's portfolio. If you click on it, it brings you to this particular page where you are not just going to see her introduction. These are some of the projects Deborah Alawale has worked on. Okay, you can see it. Deborah Alawale builds project portfolio. Look at the detail in the portfolio that she has designed. Having no prior experience, guys, no prior experience. So how do you build something like this from scratch? That is exactly what we're going to be doing today. And I would not be building it except want to build also. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Now the session is going to be recorded. The session is going to be recorded, and if you want to get the record of this session as well as my slides, you want to fill out the attendance form in the chat. Do fill out the attendance form in the chat box. Okay, do want to fill the attendance form in the box. Okay, one of my team members would post the attendance link in the chat. If you've been very observant, you would have seen the attendance form already. Okay, so that's my team member posting the attendance form in the chat. Also, if you want the recording to be sent to you via email as well as my slide. Nobody responded about being ready. Do you want to see how to build a portfolio from scratch? Guys, no other tech brand do what we do here at Navient Analytics. No other tech brand would show you how to build a portfolio, okay, in a free session. No other tech brand I can beat my chest. All right, so and that's what we're about to do today. Guess what? I can either choose to build it alongside myself, or when you have, you're in a more settled environment, can get hold of the recording and build your own and post it online, okay, as well as let us know. So to build a portfolio, there are some things that you will need, right? You need certain things. One of the things you need is a you need projects, all right, but let's not go into that yet. Let's build together. Okay, so this is Google Chrome, all right, this is Google Chrome. If you want to build with me again, this is your chance. Okay, This is your chance. So who is building with me? 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 Okay, brilliant. So open Google Chrome. Okay, open Google Chrome. Okay, open Google Chrome and just search Google Sites. Just search Google Sites. Google Sites, Google Sites, Google Sites, and hit enter. Type Google Sites and hit enter. So let me enlarge my screen a little bit so you can see. All right, so Google search, Google Sites, S-I-T-E, Google Sites. Okay, search that and then you see Google Sites, Google Sites, Google Sites, Google Sites. Now click on Google Sites. Okay, you click on Google Sites and it's going to open up a wonderful page for you. It's going to open up a wonderful page for you. All right. Now what you have in front of us is sort of like a platform where you can build a website. Now your portfolio is more of like your own personal website that helps you project your personal brand. So whenever you attend, tech events or you're online on LinkedIn, you want your portfolio to be highly visible so that it projects who you are. For example, let me show you mine. Okay, and I built this particular portfolio in a session like this. Okay, so this is it. I built this portfolio in a session like this, like we are today. Okay, you can see my name on the top left. This is the home page. I have the portfolio and contact page. You can see a little bit about me. That's me right there. And you can click on view project. And when you click on view projects, okay, when you click on view project, it takes you to the portfolio page. All right, it takes you to the portfolio page. And you can see my portfolio and a live link for you to play around with this dashboard. For example, if I want to look at this dashboard, I only need to click on this link and it takes me to the live dashboard. Okay, it takes me to the live dashboard that I can play around with in real time. As you can see, Citycom sales dashboard. And as a user, you can come here and filter. You can see now it's showing 2017, 2018, 2019. If I want it to show just 2017, I click on 2017 and the whole dashboard filters to show me just 2017. Okay, so people online can play with your dashboard like this while you are sleeping. Okay, and this sells your personal brand for you even when you are asleep. So how do you build something like this from scratch? Okay, how do you build something like this from scratch? So when you go to Google Sites, okay, when you go to Google Sites, you can see and you have so many portfolios. All right, you have so many portfolios so many templates rather that you can actually fine-tune to look like what you want. But today we'll be clicking on blank site because we want to start from scratch. Okay, if you click on template gallery, it's going to drop down even more templates that you can play around with. But again, we are interested in clicking a blank site. So click on blank site and we start from scratch. We are going to start from scratch. We are going to start from scratch, guys. We are going to start from scratch. We are going to start from scratch. Are we together, guys? Are we together? We're going to start from scratch. Okay, brilliant, brilliant. We're going to start from scratch. So as you can see, this is the page, the way the page would look like, but this is we building. Okay, you can see this is like a text box. I can click inside and highlight and type what I want. Okay, on this right hand side you have three tabs: insert tab, page tab, and themes tab. So the first thing I want to do is I want to determine the number of pages I want in my portfolio. Guys, if you're just joining, don't forget to fill out the attendance form so that you get the recording of the session as well as my slides in your mailbox. All right, so the first thing you want to do is to click on the Pages tab. Now, the Pages tab by default you have the home page. By default, it has the home page. So you want to determine how many pages you want your portfolio to have. For today's session, I'm going to limit the number of pages to 3. The home page, the portfolio page, and my contact page. Home page, portfolio, and contact. So the question is, how do I add more pages? All I need to do is to click on this little button here, okay, and click on it, and it's going to pop up new page. It's going to pop up new page. What do I want to name the page? I want to name it as what? Portfolio. So I'll type portfolio and click on done. And it's going to add a page called portfolio. And you can see on the top right corner, it also add the page here called portfolio. Okay, you can see it is easy to use, guys. Creating a web page, a personal web page, has never been easier. The platform is highly intuitive. All I need to do is to show you the ropes, and you guys will build great things yourselves. Okay, so this is the portfolio page. I said I want to have a contact page as well, so I'm going to click on the plus sign again, click on new page, type contacts, and hit enter. Okay, and now I have 3 pages: the home page, the portfolio page, and the contact page. Guys, who is feeling it? Who is feeling it? Who is excited? Always let me know you're excited in the chat box. So let's continue. All right, brilliant. So let's continue. Okay, let us continue. Now go to the home page. Okay, remember we have 3 pages. Go to the home page, and now we begin to customize. So I don't want your page title to be here. What I want is I want my value proposition to be in the face of any tech recruiter that looks at my profile, my portfolio. All right. So I want to have something that clearly, that clearly communicates my value proposition. Okay. So let's assume I'm a data analyst. If you want to, okay, I can see people raising their hands. Brilliant. Okay, so I want to believe that's an indication of your excitement. Fantastic. So now, instead of your page title to be here, I want you to, if you want to get my attention, you want to ask a question, please, let's keep that till the end of the session. Let's build the portfolio, and then we go on to question and answer. So your page title, we can type something like, so as a data analyst, for example, you want to type something like turning data into a gold mine of insights. Turning data into a gold mine of insights. And you want to make it bold, you want to make it bold, you want to, make the text spread out a lot more, something like this. All right, something like that. A gold mine. Okay, a gold mine. Let's keep it like that. A gold mine of insights. Are we following, guys? Are we following? Okay, are we following? And guys, this background you are seeing here is the default background. We'll get to it in a minute. Okay, but on the top left here, guys, you can see enter site name. Enter site name. So I want to have my name there. Okay, Muhammad Suleiman. Okay, Muhammad Suleiman. All right, Muhammad Suleiman. Now you can add your logo. If you have a personal brand, you have a logo, you can add it. So we are making progress, guys. Little by little, bit by bit, we are making progress. Who is excited? Who is excited? We are making progress. So let's continue to make the progress. Now, by the time I hover my mouse around that background, I would see image, this image button pop up. I'll click on the image button and I can either upload an image. So if you have, again, some of us may have personal brands that you have your own background that you use for your stuff online, and all of that good stuff. You can, if you have that, you can, upload. But I'll be selecting from the options that I have. So I'll click on select. Now after clicking on select, I have a gallery of photos that I can use as a background. Now I want to use something techy. I want to use something techy. Okay, something techy. All right, so just something that I like. Okay, so let's use something dark. Okay, let's use something dark. Okay, let's use something dark. Let's see. I can use something like this. Okay, I can use something like this. Click on this particular image and click insert, and that inserts this particular background for me, turning data into a gold mine of insights. How cool is this background, guys? How cool is this background? So we're making progress. Now that we have this page set up, we need to put content in here. Okay, we need to put content in here. And to put content in here, because what we are building is something like this. Okay, we are building something like this. All right, so we want to put content in there. What we'll be doing is I want to click on insert on the insert tab here, and I want to select content block, content blocks. Now, content blocks are pre-designed. Okay, fantastic. Now, content blocks are pre-designed, items that you can use to populate your portfolio. Okay, so all you want to do is you want to click on, I'll use this first content block so you see exactly what it looks like. All right, this first content block is an image with a text beside it, an image with a text beside it. This second content blocks are two images with text underneath. So depending on what you want to add, okay, depending on what you want to add into your project portfolio, you select an equivalent content block. So I'm going to select the first content block, and you can see now I have a space here with text boxes that I can type stuff inside of it. Okay, with text boxes that I can type stuff inside of it. Now, what I want to add here is my own picture, okay, picture of myself. So I'm going to click on the plus sign and I want to upload. So I'll click on upload, okay, and that's going to pop out my local device. Now, I have my picture in pictures, so I'm going to click on pictures and look for where my picture is. I'll just scroll. That's my picture. Click on it, click on open, and it's going to upload the picture in there. Okay, and I can enlarge, guys. I would enlarge it so that it shows my full fine face. Okay, so it shows my full face. All right, it shows my full face. Okay, so guys, are we making progress? Are we together? So you can add this now to make this easy for you. If now is the time you're looking for your picture or something, and you're finding it difficult, you can use something for now, and later on, you can change it. Okay, you can change it. So you can click on here and replace image. All right, you can click on these three dots and click on replace image to replace image later. Okay, so if you've uploaded something already, you do not need to panic. Now, we are still making progress, guys. So let's go on to adding text here. Now, if you look at what you have here, you have a larger text here and then a smaller one. This can be used to talk about yourself. And one thing that is very good is that you should have a text about yourself, okay? Something talking about yourself, somewhere written. So that's going to make it easier for you to build your portfolio. So you just copy and paste from where you've already typed it instead of typing it directly in here. So what I'm going to do here is I'll just type about me, about me. Okay, again, I can make it bold. All right, I can make it bold so that it stands out. But in the text here, I would copy that from here. I have a text talking about me here, so I'm just going to copy that instead of typing. So I just copy that instead of typing it and paste it right here. Okay, that's a little bit about myself. You can write a lot more, okay, or just simply enlarge it depending on. I can enlarge to, let's say, 14. Okay, so that is a little bit bolder. So that's a little bit about me, the data professional, and all of that good stuff. All right. So now we need to add a button here that through which people can click on, that takes them directly to my portfolio. So when people read about me, there's a little button underneath here that shows people view, or that encourages people to view my portfolio. So of course, after you've read about me, you're scrolling down. I want to make it easy for people to go to the portfolio page instead of always coming to the top right corner here. How do I do that? Simple, easy peasy. All I need to do is to insert a text box. So I'm going to click a text box here. Okay, and it's going to add a text box under this particular item that I had inserted earlier. Now, inside of this text box, I'm going to write view my work, view my work, view my work. Okay, view my work. I want to increase the boldness to about 14. I want to make it bold. Okay, I want to make it bold, and then I'm going to centralize. Okay, using this button, I'll centralize. So it's at the middle, view my work, simply encouraging people to view my work. But how do I make it that this view my work, people can click on it and it takes them to my portfolio page? How? Very simple. I'm going to click on insert link. Okay, let me show you that again if you missed it. I highlight this text and I click on this link symbol here. I click on that to insert link, and I can insert a link to anywhere that I want. Maybe I could insert my LinkedIn profile link if that's what I want. But what I want is my portfolio page on this site. I want to click it. I want to insert the portfolio page on this text on this site. So I select the portfolio. It's going to automatically pop up if you have already created the page initially. So that's why I want to follow the same step that I have followed up until this point. So I'll click on portfolio and click on apply. That's going to turn this into a link that takes people to my portfolio page. How do I know that it works? How do I know that it works? Now, as you are building your site, you have the opportunity to view it as a user by clicking on this little button here that says preview on top here. If you look at my screen, my mouse is there correctly. Okay, this says preview. Let me enlarge it so that you see. It says preview. Where is it? Yeah, this particular button right here. It says preview. So I'm going to click on that. Let me scroll down so you see this, the view my work here. Okay, so if I click on preview, it's going to open up a temporary user page. So this is how people are going to see my site, my portfolio, my website portfolio once I am done building it. And if anybody as a recruiter clicks on view my work, it takes them to my portfolio page. How cool is that? How cool is that? How cool is that? Okay, how cool is that? How cool is that? Now, if you are having any issues following me, it is more important for you to fill the attendance form, okay, than even trying to catch up. At this point, ensure you fill the attendance form, ensure the email you write in there and your contact details are correct, so that we can send these things to you via mail. The session is recorded, it will be sent to you via email, and you can just sit down, relax, and enjoy the session, till the end. Okay. So can we see that? Can we see it works? So this is the home page. Okay, and if I click view my work at the bottom, it takes me to the portfolio page. Okay, and to go out of preview mode, I just click on the X sign here at the bottom right, and it takes me back to my editing or development page. Please do not type your email in the chat box. Fill out the attendance form. One of my team members is pasting the link to the attendance form in the chat box. Please do not type your email in the chat box. Nobody's going to attend to that unless you fill out the attendance form posted in the chat box by my colleague. All right, having said that, so now we are here on the portfolio page. But before I go to the portfolio page, let me go back to the home page. I am not done yet. So I want my page to have a dark theme. So you can see that my picture here is looking like a passport stapled to a white A4 paper. Who agrees with me? It looks like a passport stapled to a white A4 paper. I don't want it to look basic. All right, I don't want it to look too basic. Are you with me, guys? I don't want it to look too basic. So for that reason, I'm going to click on, as I'm hovering on this particular page, you see some 3 buttons on the left hand side pop out. I want to click on the first button that says select color, select style color, and I can click on different styles. It is currently on style 1. This is style 2, a little bit darker. I can select style 3. I can select style 3. Okay, I can select style 3. So this is style 3. All right, this is style 3. Okay, and I could select image also. I could select an image. I could click on this and click on select and select an image to use for my background. So if I also wanted to use this, I could use this as my background. I could use this as my background, but since I have a dark theme, I could just use something like this, some shooting stars. So let's see how that plays out. Fantastic. You can see how it looks now. We can all see how it looks now. But I still don't like this background. Okay, I still don't like this background. So what I'm gonna do is this. Let's select a better image. So let's select something not too intrusive. And guys, if you have a photo, you can actually upload that. Okay, let's see how this plays out. Let's see how this one plays out. Fantastic. Okay, this is fantastic. All right, this is fantastic. Okay, this is fantastic. So you can have it like so. We can have it like so. Are we together? We can have it like that. Okay, we can have it like this. We can have it like this. This works. All right, this works. Okay, so now that we have this, okay, guys, play around. I'm sort of indecisive right now as to which background I would use, but let's see if I can find something a lot more plainer that we could use. Something a lot more plainer that we could use. Let's use this. So this is my final choice. Okay, so I'll use this particular one. Okay, so now that we have this, we are left with my view my work tab. Okay, so I can also hover my mouse on the view my work tab and click on this and choose style 3. So it puts this color down here. Okay, it puts this color down here. And again, if I click on the preview button to just take a look at how it looks like, when a recruiter comes to my page, it's going to look something like this, turning data into a gold mine of insights, and they can see a little bit about me, very legible, and I can click here to view my work, and that takes me to the portfolio page. Okay, so let's go back to the review page, to the edit page rather, so that I can continue. So now that I'm done with the home page, I can safely move to the portfolio page and continue my work. Now the portfolio page is where the bulk of the work lies. All right. So the first thing is I want to make this bold. Okay, I want to make this bold. All right, portfolio. I want to make this bold. Second thing is I want to select an image for this background, just the way we did for the first page. And I want to select something colorful, something colorful. Okay, so I'm going to select this. I'm going to select this and click on insert. So you can see how it looks like. Okay, something colorful. All right, something nice to look at. Fantastic. So you can see homepage, and then portfolio page, taking shape. Now, what's going to form the content of my portfolio page? Okay, now what would form the content of your portfolio page would be it would be determined by the number of projects you want to add. Okay, so I have 2 projects that I would add for the sake of time. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm going to add just 2. You can add as many as you want. So let's add the first one. And guys, since I'm adding 2, I could use single content blocks like this, or the double content block. So I'll just go for the double content block in this case. Or should we use the single? Let's go for the double. All right, let's go for the double content block. Nothing too technical going on there, as we can see. So the first project, okay, I'm going to have a thumbnail, a screenshot of the project, and then a text, okay, the title, and then about the project. A screenshot of the project, the title of the project, and then a text talking about a little bit about the project. Okay, so and here's how I'm going to do it. I'll click on the plus sign, and again, for you to make this easy for yourself, you need to have this screenshot and all of these other things prepared. And that's why it's important that you have the necessary skill before you can even talk about building a portfolio. And I'll talk about that later on. So I'm going to just upload. I'll click on upload. It's going to pop out my system. I'm just going to navigate to where the the image is, and this is the image of the dashboard. Okay, that's it right there. Click on open, and it's going to paste that in here. Okay, and I can add the second one right away. Okay, I'll upload the second one right away. So you can see that's the second dashboard right there beside it. So these are my 2 projects that I'm going to be adding. Now, I want to add what's the title of this. I'll add them here and a little bit about them. So I have it in this text as well. Okay, so this is the first project. Okay, this is the first project. So the title of the first project is, let's type the title together first. So the title is Bookings versus Sponsorship Performance. Bookings versus sponsorship performance. Okay, bookings versus sponsorship performance, and this one is CityCom sales report. CityCom sales report. Okay, CityCom sales report. CityCom is the name of the of the company. All right, so now I want to write a little bit about this first project. So I'm going to just come to where I have the text around the details of the project, copy that and paste it here. So that saves you a chunk of time. Okay, and then I have similar for the second project. So that's the second project. That's the second project right here. Control C, and then I paste that in here, giving details about the project. And I can decide on how I want to align it. I can align it to the left. Okay, I can justify. Okay, justification is a lot better, and I can justify the second one too. All right, so after having done that, I am making very good progress. I'm making very good progress. So I want to add a box that would contain the link to that people can use to interact with this dashboard, because you don't want a portfolio that just shows screenshots of your dashboard, okay, or the work you've done. You want them to somehow experience the work itself so that they can appreciate it. So for that reason, I'm going to be adding a text box. Okay, so I'm going to move. You can see when I clicked on text box here, it automatically added the text box. But this text box spans the entire portfolio page. So, but I want it to be under the first one itself. So I'm going to move it to the point where I see this blue highlight. You can see this blue highlight under the very first one. Once it's there, I release it, and then it adds the text box under here. Okay, and I can type something like click here to view dashboard. Click here to view or to interact with the dashboard. Click here to interact with the dashboard. Okay, and I want to do the same thing here. Add the text box, okay, and move it directly under this as well, and say click here to interact with the dashboard. All right, click here to interact with the dashboard. So after I have this, what do I need to do? All I need to do is to, like I said, this is the first dashboard. Okay, this is the second one. This is the link. If I paste this link in the chat now, you'll be able to interact with this dashboard yourselves. Okay, let me allow you to enjoy it. Let me copy the link and paste it for you guys in the chat box. Okay, so you get to see and interact with it and see how it is. And you can build something like this yourself, by simply passing through one of our programs. All right, so having said that, let's go back to the portfolio itself. So having copied that link, I can now highlight this, click here to interact with dashboard, okay, and then click on the insert link sign. And now I don't want the pages. I have a link that I want to insert, so I just Control V to paste the link. I paste the link and click on apply, and that applies that link on here. And I want to do the same for this. I go to the dashboard. Okay, that's not it. Okay, yeah, this is it. This is the dashboard, and you can see people can actually interact with the dashboard itself. Okay, you can see the dashboard filtering depending on what I want to see, I want to see, and so on and so forth, right? So I'll just copy the link to this dashboard. Okay, I'll copy the link and paste it. Okay, I'll highlight this again. I'll highlight this first one and paste the link in here and apply. So after having this, guys, are we following? Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? This is we building practically a website. Okay, so, and it's super easy. Please, what application is that? Google Sites. All right, so now what you need to do is let us change the theme of each of these. So I'm going to just click on this, select color options, click on this, and so it sort of pastes this color behind my dashboard, behind my portfolio, right? So for this particular link here, I want it to stand out. This click here to interact with dashboard, I want it to stand out. How do I do that? So I highlight, and I want to change the text color, okay, to maybe yellow, so that it stands out from the normal text and it drags people's attention. Okay, because that's the point. You want them to, I want to encourage them to interact with your dashboard. So use a color that is loud so that it can stand out. And let's preview. Okay, so I'll click on preview, and it's going to show me how my portfolio page would look like in real life. And guys, can you take a moment to appreciate the fantastic work we've done so far? Can you take a moment to appreciate this, guys? Can you take a moment to appreciate this? So we are making progress. Okay, the final page is the contact page, and there is nothing on it yet. Okay, so we've worked on the home page, we've worked on the portfolio page, and we've done all these in less than how many minutes? In less than how many minutes? So let's go back to the preview page. Okay, let's go back to the preview, and we'll go to the contact page. Now, in my contact page, I want to include as many contacts that as I want. Okay, of course, I'm gonna make this bold. Gonna make this bold like I've been doing. I want to change the background of this contact page to something that mimics contact. Okay, maybe like a phone or something. So I'm just gonna look for a. I'm gonna look for a yeah, I can use this works. I can use this particular one. I can use this one, or I can use, let's use something else, guys. Something else, let's use something techy. Okay, let's use something techy. Let's use this laptop. Okay, and notepad. I'll use that. Remember, you can upload pictures, so you could get picture of a phone and upload it. All right, so but I'm not going to go through that because of time. So now I have the contact page. Okay, and I can make it interactive. Want to contact me? Want to contact me? Okay, we can put it like that. Want to contact me? So how many contacts do you want to put? As many as you possibly can. Okay, I'll just select the four item block and put it here. So the first thing I want to add is the picture of a phone. So let's see if I can get the picture of a phone from the internet. Okay, phone call. Let's search phone call icon instead. Phone call icon. All right, so that's a phone call icon. So I'm just going to select one of them. I'm just going to select one of them. Save image as. So I'm just going to save the image. Okay. So I'm just going to save the image. All right. So I can also get LinkedIn. Okay. LinkedIn logo because I want my LinkedIn profile. So I could use this, or I could select the black and white so that's uniform. Okay, save image as, and then I click on save, and then what else? LinkedIn, you can add your Instagram. If you want people to go to your Instagram, you can add Instagram logo. Okay, Instagram logo. So let's add Instagram logo. So I could add the one of black and white. So let's add this. Okay, save image as, and then I click save. So I think that would do because of time. So let's add them one by one. So I would upload the first one, click on the plus sign. Pretty intuitive, highly intuitive platform. Okay, so I add the first one. That's the phone call image. Okay, file not found. Let's see. Let's select it again. Okay, fantastic. Should work now. Okay, fantastic. So that's the phone sign. So let's upload the one for LinkedIn. Okay, so that's the one for LinkedIn. So let's upload the one for Instagram. Guys, can you see how interesting this is? So Instagram, that's the one for Instagram. So, and you could add another one, depending on what you want. Okay, but I'll just limit it to these three for now. So I could tap my phone line and always ensure you type in the international code. So I'm in Nigeria, so +234 703 2158619 is my line. Okay, you can make it bold. Okay. So my LinkedIn profile, you can just say view my profile, view my profile, and you can go on and get your LinkedIn profile. So that's my LinkedIn profile link here. Okay, this is my LinkedIn profile link here. So I'll just copy it. Okay, I'll just copy it. That's my LinkedIn profile opening. So I'll just copy it. Okay, so that whenever people click on it, it brings them to this page that is loading. So this is my LinkedIn page. That's me, here again. So, but this is not where we are coming to. We'll leave LinkedIn for another day. So I'll come here, highlight, impute the link. All right, so I'm going to paste the link here and apply. All right, so Instagram, you can go to your Instagram, copy the link, paste it here as well. Okay, click here. You can just type click here. Okay, and this is pretty much what your portfolio would look like. You can add something here also. You could add something here. I could just take it out. Okay, I could just take it out. All right, so that's pretty much what it is. Okay, that's pretty much what it is. So people can contact you here. You can click on this and see you can see this is how it's going to appear in the with the user. Okay, that's a prospective tech recruiter. Now I'm not done yet. I could actually change the style, maybe change it to or leave it as style one. Let's leave it as style one since the backgrounds are white already. Okay, so that is that about this. And finally, you want to share the link to this so that people can view it. And I'm going to do that now. So when you're done building your portfolio, what do? You want to click on publish. Click on publish, and you want to give your website a name. Okay, so you want to give your website a name. So I'm going to give it Muhammad the Tech Bro without space. So whatever website address you choose, you must ensure it is something that people have not used. So for example, if you have a very popular name like myself, Mohammed Suleiman, if I type Mohammed Suleiman, for example, let's see what happens. It's going to tell me this address has already been taken. Okay, and that's because my name is very popular. I'm not a popular person, but my name is very popular. They're two different things. Okay, so I'm going to take the other one, Muhammad the Tech Bro. Okay, you can see it accepts this, and I'll say publish. Okay, publish. And after publishing it, your site has been successfully published. I'll click on view, and that takes me to the site itself. Now, yeah, so this is the contact page. So this is the home page. Let me share this link with you, and I want you to view my site. View my site right here and see what it looks like on your phone. So that's my site in the chat box. So click on it and view it. Okay, click on view work and see how it works. Tell me whether it takes you to portfolio page. Okay, and you can click on contact here. So I would love you guys to build something like this yourselves. Okay, but guess what? You can't build something like this yourselves if you don't have a project. Because the reason you are building this portfolio website is because of this page 2, your portfolio page. So what do? I'm not seeing anything. You can click on the link. Okay, if you click on the link that I pasted in the chat box, you see what we built. If you can't see my screen, and if you can't see my screen, it's as a result of your network. So please check your network or step out of the call and step back in and confirm you can see it. If you can see my screen, type I can see your screen so that whoever is not seeing my screen knows that it's a problem from their own end and not mine. Okay, I shared the link in the chat box. I'll share it again if you missed it the first time. So I've shared it again. So you can see what we have right here. So now, having built this, we spent roughly an hour building this. So the big question is, Mohammed, how do I get the things I use to populate my portfolio? How can I work on projects? That's the big question. Okay, and that will bring me back to my slides. Guys, I hope you enjoyed yourself building the portfolio. I would love to see what you come up with on LinkedIn. So tag me on LinkedIn so that you can get my own personal engagement with the good stuff and cool stuff that you're able to build. Okay. So, but beyond this, how do you even get projects to work on? Okay, the first thing is you need to select a career path. Um, and as an African looking to get into the tech space, there are specific career paths you must look at. Now, the career paths you should look at, should be career paths that are easy to learn, easy to transition, and have fantastic salary projections. Okay, now if you are selecting a career path and they don't meet all three criteria, if it's not easy to learn, if it's not high in demand, meaning easy to transition, or having fantastic salaries, don't go for that career path. Okay, and to make things easy for you, the career paths that have easily met the three criteria are data analytics, data science, and business analysis. And the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report that comes out every 2 to 3 years, you know, have reiterated the fact that these career paths are the ones that are going to be high in demand even into the future. So they are currently high in demand, but the projections into the future are stating that the demand is still going to increase further into the future. So what are you waiting for to select a career path? Now, in order to help you select a career path, and this is a snippet from the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report, so you can read more about this page talking about those career paths specifically. But how many of you want to know more about those three career paths: data analytics, data science, or business analysis? How many of us wants to know more about those career paths? There are differences, and then you can select one of them which you are interested in. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Now, what's the job of a data analyst? Let's start with the data analyst. I love to call the data analyst a storyteller. A storyteller. Okay, a storyteller. And here's the reason why. When you look at analytics as a whole, you have four types. Okay, you have four types. You have the descriptive, you have the diagnostic, you have the prescriptive, and the predictive and the prescriptive analytics. But you see the data analyst. The job of the data analyst is the first two type of analytics. Okay, let me have you say that again. The job of the data analyst is the first two types of analytics: the descriptive and diagnostic analytics. So your question is, what is the descriptive analytics and what is the diagnostic analytics? Now, as a data analyst, your job is going to hover around you describing, telling stories, and that's why I call them storytellers. So you're going to take hold of or get hold of your company's data, and your job would be to summarize it into insights. Okay, pretty much telling the organization what has happened based on the data. You would stop there, you take it a step further by telling them why those things happen, and this is not going to be your opinion, but backed by the data itself. So that's your job as a data analyst. Okay, and for you to become a data analyst, okay, you need to be conversant with certain skills. You need to be familiar with Excel, very fundamental. You need to be familiar with SQL. You need to be familiar with Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, and ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT is not going to replace you as a tech talent. ChatGPT is also a tool, just like Excel is for a data analyst. And you're going to be walked through on how to, use tools like this so that you can get ahead of the job market. Now, the reason you have these three tools here, because you want to take note that these three tools here are almost or let me not say almost, they are used for very similar tasks, which is called data visualization. Okay, data visualization and business intelligence. So why did we include the three tools in our data analytics program? The reason is very simple. We want you as a tech talent to stand out from the pack and be instantly, be instantly attractive to tech recruiters at first glance. For that reason, we've included all three so that you not just are equipped with the right set of tools to find your way a lot easier in the tech space, but to be instantly attractive to tech recruiters on the global level. So you become more attractive than a data analyst that knows just Power BI, because you know all of these tools, and these are tools that are popularly required in a typical data analyst job. Now, the data scientist, on the other hand, focuses on the second two types of analytics. Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense? Are we together? Am I making sense? So I want to see that. I want to see your reactions to know that you are following me. Brilliant. All right. So the data scientist, on the other hand, focuses on predictive and prescriptive analytics. Now, predictive analytics is, rather than describing what has happened, like the data analyst, predictive analytics is more of understanding what has happened, but trying to use that information to predict into the future, to tell the organization what is likely going to happen. And based off your interpretation and insight from your predictive analytics, you make prescriptive analytics. All right. So you give prescriptions. What should the company do in preparation of that eventual future? All right, because you you're going to be driving change as a data scientist, and as a data scientist, you need to be conversant with, again, Excel. Okay, but not like the data analyst, more of like you're going to use it for predictive analytics, unlike the data analysts. Okay, you're also going to use SQL. Okay, you're also going to use Tableau. Tableau is also one of the reporting tools, but because your job as a data scientist is not creating dashboards like data analysts, Tableau is enough. And we selected Tableau out of the three data visualization tools because Tableau has unique data, unique predictive analytics capabilities. So that's the reason hinged behind the choice for Tableau. And then we have Python. Python is going to be your bread and butter as a data scientist. And a lot of people run away when they hear Python. And I tell people that with the advent of tools like ChatGPT, writing Python codes have become more of the job of the AI. And you as a data scientist are focused on interpreting the results and making decisions based on the results. Are we together, guys? Are we together? All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. What about the cat symbol? Brilliant. Somebody's asking about the cat symbol. This is GitHub. GitHub for version control. Now, what GitHub allows you to do is this. Because you've been writing code, there are possibilities that you write a particular code, you make changes to it, and you make changes to it again. But you discover that the first time you wrote the code was the best time, and you now want to revert back to that initial form of the code. That is where GitHub comes in. So GitHub allows for such version control so that you can easily track your step back without having to write the code from scratch. Okay, so that is that about that. So SQL is a database tool. Organizations store their data in SQL. You need to be able to pull your data out of an SQL database. Hence the reason we added SQL. And finally, as the business analyst, now I'll need to grab my pen here. As a business analyst, your main focus, okay, is this. This is the business analyst. Don't worry, business analysts are usually, more handsome and beautiful than this in real life. But guess what? The business analyst always finds themselves in between two entities. Entity number one on the left is the CEO. Entity number two on the right are the developers. I'll just type devs. Now, the developers are people who build things like mobile app, websites for a CEO who is a stakeholder or the owner of a company. Okay, we all know the apps that we have around us, WhatsApp. We have, especially the new startups that we have in today's world. You have, especially in the fintech world, for example, you have, call them for me, your Momo app, the MTN app, the Airtel app, the your banking app. All of those things are developed by developers. Okay, but there's a CEO who directs who lays down the expectation that these developers try to meet. And you as the BA, you are there to facilitate the collaboration in between these two entities. Okay, so if you are more of like a people's person, you like having meetings, discussing, keeping documentations, you are into operations and processes, you are a business analyst. Okay, but the funny thing is that in this day and time, recruiters have started to ask even more of a business analyst, and they require that as a business analyst, you have a very good background, in handling data. Okay, maybe not like a data analyst, all right, maybe not like a data analyst, okay, but good enough that you are able to handle data yourself without issues. And for that reason, we've added these three tools to the BA program: Excel, SQL, and Power BI, which suffices as a fundamental data literacy tool. In fact, if you go to some other training programs, you see these three tools. These are the only tools they will teach you and say you're a data analyst. And that's not enough. Okay, it's not good enough. But we've added these to the business analysis program so that they understand, as a business analyst, you understand, you have the requisite data knowledge to function well as a business analyst. Okay, you also have Miro, you have Draw.io, you have ChatGPT. Mind you, Miro and Draw.io are used for what we call process mapping. This is process mapping. Okay, process mapping. Process mapping is you mapping out a process so you can optimize it. Okay, for example, you enter into a company and the company has a particular process through which a customer would pass through before they can meet with a customer service. So how do you streamline the process so that you don't have customers waiting all day to get an appointment? Okay, so you process map and then you optimize. You also have Azure DevOps, allows you to collaborate with stakeholders in a project, and you have Jira because as a business analyst, you'll be the one leading the development team. So you need a tool like Jira to be able to manage your team. All right. So having said this, now we have added the brochure of the programs. So by the time you get my slides, you can go through it you see all of the details regarding the training program and the career paths you intend to go into. Now, based off this, which of the career paths would you get into before I get into the schedule? Which of the career paths would you love to get into before I go on to the schedule of the program itself? Do you want to become a data analyst or a data scientist or a business analyst? Okay, Precious chose business analysis. Brilliant. So I'd love to hear from others to see what you choose. Do you want to become a data analyst, a business analyst, or a data scientist? Wow, only business analyst. Okay, so I'll be expecting, a response from others as well. All right, brilliant. So while that is going on, the program is a 3 month learning journey. It's a 3 month learning journey. And you have a 1 month internship afterwards. Now, this makes it 4 months in total, and your classes will be in the weekends, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays for 3 hours. You build and you work on projects alongside a professional. Okay, so a professional will be there to take you through the classes on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then on Sundays, you have what we call DID videos, do as I do videos. Now, these videos are self-paced videos that prepare you ahead of the next class, the next Saturday, through the week. So it means that on Sundays and through the week, you can spread these videos, complete them ahead of the class, so that you can be able to participate in class. And then during the weekdays, we don't want to just leave you alone. So we check up on you by way of this support session. So on Tuesdays, 9 to 10 p.m., you pop into the session, and if you have any issues, okay, if you have any issues, you complain in that session, and your facilitator and instructor will be there to help you out with any issues that you may be facing. On Thursdays, same time, 9 to 10 p.m., you have what we call our mentorship session. This is also the session where we get to train you on some of the employability skills. And guess what? All your training materials, you would have a lifetime access to them. Let me write it here. You would have a lifetime access to all your training materials and all the professionals that will get to work with you. Lifetime. Okay, so even after the training program, you're still going to have access to the recording of all your sessions, all your videos, all the PDFs that I've shared with you during the program and all of that. So these are the things that will be shared with you. So I've asked which career path you want to get into, so I don't think we need to, waste any time there. Okay, and just to reiterate, portfolios are the key to you getting into tech. Portfolio is the key to get into tech. These are some of the students I showed you. Ensure to view their portfolios. And this brings me to the extra layered support, the career support I talked about at the beginning of the session. Now, here at Nebiant Analytics, remember, we are a premium tech brand and we're bringing that to Africa. We understand that the technical aspect of the training is not enough for you to get into the tech space. And for that reason, we've added an extra layered employability support that you would likely not find anywhere else, especially throughout Africa. Now, what we offer you as follows. First, weekly guidance and mentorship session, like I mentioned, the schedule. You also have CV assessment and job matching. Gone are the days you have a single CV, and that's what you use to apply to all the jobs that you have out there. These days, you need to tailor your CV to the specific job that you're applying to so that you can give yourself a better chance or the best chance to get called for an interview, and from there you get hired. Now, before you can even get called for an interview, or by the time you get called for an interview, by that time you need a LinkedIn profile that boosts your personal brand, because guess what, tech recruiters will check you out on these platforms depending on how you apply to the job. You also have Upwork profile. Now, Upwork is a platform where you get to work remotely for organizations based abroad, US, UK, Canada, and the likes. Um, if I ask you now, do you have an Upwork account? Some of you may already have. But if I ask the follow-up question, have you gotten a job from Upwork? That is less likely to be the case. And that's simply because you do not have the right information to thrive in a highly competitive platform like Upwork. Remember I spoke about you giving yourself the best chance to get an interview by way of CV assessment and job matching? Well, we prepare you ahead of the interview anytime, any day. You have an interview coming up, all you need to do is to inform us early enough so we have ample time to work with you and prepare with you ahead of the interview. And this offer is on a lifetime basis, a lifetime basis. So even after your program has ended, so sorry about that. So sorry about that. So as I was saying, even after a program has ended, you still gain access. You still have access to get an interview preparation with our experts at no extra cost. Only a brand that is dedicated to you getting into the tech space will do this for you. I had spoken about the support session that we had that you'll be having, on weekdays, Tuesdays 9 to 10 p.m. So that's the support session here. And you have a lifetime access to all your training materials and your facilitators. You can reach out anytime if you need help. And these are personnel that will be happy to help you out, going into the future. So it's not a case of you get into the program and then you get pushed out and we tell you a goodbye. It's a case of we building a community around you, a very large community around you that ensures that you break into the tech space. All right. Now, this is just talking about the 1 month internship that I spoke about when I was talking about the schedule. Here, there will be no training wheels anymore. What you'll be doing here is testing your skills, working with our experts in-house to, ascertain that you have the skills necessary to thrive on the job itself. Okay, now we have reference and recommendation letter. And for us to talk about your reference and recommendation letter extensively, permit me to share testimonials. Now, you can click here to view our latest testimonials, but the one I want to show you today is one of our participants, Eileen Okai. Last week, she got a job. Okay, she got a job, and the recruiter that gave her the offer, asked her for 2 references, one personal reference and one professional. The professional reference needs a letterhead, preferably from a previous employer. And that's when Nabiant Analytics come in. If you look very closely, you see that it says on her LinkedIn that myself and Helene both work at Nabiant Analytics. And that's because when you join us here at Nabiant Analytics, you can put in your LinkedIn that you are currently working with Nabiant Analytics as a consultant, a data consultant, at that data analytics consultant, and all of that stuff. Okay. Now, when you do that, you have the liberty to come to us to ask for a recommendation letter, and you needed to see the recommendation letter I personally composed for Helen Okai. Okay, so she has been able to transition into the space. Helen Okai was able to do this with the help of Nabiant Analytics. And these are strategies we've put in place, and you could be the next Helen. She got this job just recently, last week. Okay, and we've been celebrating her since. You can also take a look at all other participants who have gotten jobs. After passing through our program, Deborah Lawali, Udwak Basi, Grace. You can listen to both of them by clicking on this link as well. So many of them, who have passed through our program and have reiterated the fact that they did not just get value for their time and investment. So many of them have also gone to get jobs. And the tricky thing is that for us at Nebiant is that so many of our participants have gotten jobs and they don't come back to tell us that they got jobs. Okay. And that's been the case for us. And we want you to be the next person who will get a job and be happy to also tell us that, you finally got yourself into the tech ecosystem. Now, guys, we have a class starting on the 10th of May 2025. That's in less than 1 month. In about 3 weeks, you can start your journey into the tech ecosystem on a 3 month program plus a 1 month internship, and all of the career support and the lifetime offer that we have spoken about so far. Now, within the next 5 minutes, I'm no longer going to be speaking to everybody on the call. I want to speak with just those people who are ready to start their journey on the 10th of May 2025. Okay, and for those of us who wants to start in the future, even if there is opportunity for that, for now, I want to speak to just those who want to start their program 10th of May 2025. If you are ready to jump into tech, okay, starting your program on the 10th of May 2025, please type myself, type me in the chat box, type myself or me in the chat box. I want to start to speak just to you. Okay, and if you are wondering, oh, Mohammed, you promise us a lifetime access to my training materials. How do you do that? So while you are indicating if you are ready to get into the tech space, let me take 1 minute to show you the platform that you get to work on and get access to all your training materials. Now, this is the Google Classroom. Okay, I have so many classrooms, and that's because I'm in all of the classrooms. Now, you'll be onboarded into one of these classrooms when you enroll. Okay, and when you enroll, okay, you will be put through everything you need to know via the classroom, and this is where we store every single class material. Now, this past Saturday, this particular cohort, the March cohort, they had their second Power BI class. Now, if you look very closely, this was the class material used in the class for the Power BI. Okay, they built a dashboard right there and then in the class. Okay, and it is a case study. You can see there is a case study, there's a problem you're going to be solving right there in class. So it's not a theoretical class, it's highly practical. Okay, and in this particular class, they went on to build this particular dashboard. Let me increase my screen so you get to appreciate the dashboard itself. If you look at it, it should ring a bell. Okay, the dashboards that formed the content of my portfolio earlier looks like something like this. Okay, and these are the things that would contain your portfolio. All right, that would be the content of your portfolio eventually. And that particular class, as is every other class you'll be attending, was also recorded. So you can see the recording of that session. Let me play it so you get a feel of how it looks like. So let's assume, oh, after some time, taking the program, you've gotten a job, you want to refresh your memory. You can easily come back here without asking anybody, and you meet this video here any day, anytime. Okay, you can play it. That's Dorcas, one of the professionals you get to typically. So I'll just increase it so that you can take it further. You can see her sharing her screen and walking people through practically on how to get stuff done. Power BI. You can see I'm building the dashboard from scratch. So just the way I built a portfolio in this session from scratch, with you get to witness this, something similar in class as well. Okay, so and all your sessions are recorded. They're recording, so you can always come back to your session any day. That's Dorcas again. She's wearing black there this time. Let's see. She's wearing a white hair this time. How about here? So that's about the program now, and you have a lifetime access to it. Now let me see how many people indicated that they want to join. Equelzo, Lola D. Okay, all all of you that indicated, well done. Now, for you to gain access to the program, okay, of your choice, depending on the skill you've chosen, either data science, data analytics, or business analysis, the total price for the program is 250,000 naira. Okay, and this gives you access to everything that we've talked about earlier. Now, for those who are going to be among the early bird, for the early bird, you gain access to our 3 installment plan. Our 3 installment plan. So the 3 installment plan, the first installment helps you to secure a spot. It secures a spot for you, and you are sure that you're going to benefit from the early bird package. Okay, which is the 3 installments itself. And then by April ending or before the classes start in May, you top up with the second installment, and then that makes you eligible to start in the class. And then 1 month into the program, you then top up, or before the next cohort starts again, you top up so that you can be reassured to gain access to all of the materials and all the lifetime offers that we have promised. Okay, and all you need to do, and this is for the first, just for the first 20 people, all you need to do is to send a direct transfer to the account number on your screen, and it's also available in the chat box if you want to easily copy it. The account number is 0098999047, Sterling Bank, Navient Analytics. And once you have done that, you send me a DM on WhatsApp with the proof of payment, and I will personally walk you through the next step of enrollment. Now, you can secure a spot today and indicate that you want to start either in June or even July. That is very possible. You can start either in June or even July, depending on your availability. But the most important thing is for you to actually secure a spot, because we do this to limit the crowd in class. So again, why do we want to bring premium to Africa? We don't want a situation where it's overcrowded. Okay, so only people who are ready to take on the installment plan would actually gain access. Okay, so there is a point where we also hit our maximum capacity, and we tell you that, look, you can no longer enter into the class. So key thing is secure a spot today, and then you can top up as required by the installment plan. So you make a transfer of 50,000 naira now, and you can send me a DM 0703 215 8619. My colleague would paste my line in the chat box. I would also type it myself 0703 215 8619, and you can send me a direct WhatsApp message, and I'll walk you through personally through the enrollment step, easy peasy, and you can start your journey ASAP. Okay, so there are so many reasons you can choose tech, but I'll just leave it here for now so that you can easily get the information you need to secure your spot. Okay, I've started getting DMs. I've gotten DMs. So if you are one of the people who have sent me a DM, don't worry. By the time we shut the session down, now I'll be responding to you one after the other. Okay, so you need to send me a DM once you've secured a spot, so that we can have your details in our files according. Okay, so those of you that have sent me a DM, I'll be responding to you immediately after shutting down this session. Okay, you don't want to sleep on this. The economy is not going to smile at you going forward. It's not going to smile at you, so you need to take necessary steps for you to be the one to smile in this economy of ours. So how do you give yourself the opportunity to earn in hard currency and spend it in naira? Okay, that's one of the best feelings ever. It's a life hack. Somebody said, go and live in Africa and then work remotely. All right, and your life is going to change. So, and imagine you as a Nigerian living in Nigeria, or as an African living in Africa, working remotely for organizations in the US. Um, you will forget that you ever made any investment in learning the skills that give you the opportunity. So, once again, don't sleep on it. All right. You want to ask questions about the discounts, you want to start later, but you want to still secure a discount, send me a DM 0703 Now I'll take questions for about 5 minutes. I'll take questions. So if you have any questions, paste it in the chat box so I can take your questions. All right, I'll take questions, paste it in the chat box so I can take it. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to take your questions as promised. Questions. You can type it in the chat box, or you can raise your hand. I would ask you to unmute so that you can speak with me live. Okay, so that you can speak with me live. Anybody, any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Okay. It seems we have no questions, so which means I did a fantastic job, conveying the information to you guys. If you are just joining us, fill out the attendance form so that you can get the recording of the session as well as the slide mailed to you in your box. Okay. So Daniel, I see you. Are you one of the people who have sent me a DM with a proof of payment? If you are not one of them, ensure you're one of them tonight. And if you have already enrolled, that's also a big congratulations to you. That is that about today's session. I would see you guys in class. I'll see you guys in class May 10th. Okay, don't sleep on this. If you sleep on it, you're gonna be on a long thing. So you don't want to be, you don't want to miss out on the wave of tech that we have in recent years. If I plan to own a business, let's say if I plan to own a business that combines medicine, um, ecosystem, agriculture, and technology, what's apes or apps? Or I'm not sure what you mean by that. What's um, something the IG analytics would you digest, and how can I relate? So in running businesses, right? Um, you can start with data analytics, okay, and then go to business analysis, and then go to data science. So those are the programs I would recommend in that order for you if you want to do business. So I am answering Lolade's question, not everybody. Okay, this is not for everybody. This is for Lolade because he or she asked the question. You want to go into business, start with data analytics. It helps you understand data and how to make decisions with data. And then you can pivot into business analysis. So it makes you more of a manager. All right. And then you go into data science, which takes analytics a step further into the predictive and prescriptive analytics. So that's the order in which you can take it. Okay. Starting with data analytics, so I also hope you're one of the people who have sent me a DM already in WhatsApp. All right. So are there any other questions? Are there any other questions? 1 minute, and I'm shutting this down. 1 minute, and I am shutting this session down. Do we have any other questions? Any questions? Any other questions? Once it's 9:40, we are going home. Okay. All right. Udo Precious. You're welcome. 1 minute going. Okay, Firdaus, I see you. I hope you got value for your time. 1 minute, it's going, it's going, it's going, and it's still going, and it's gone. All right, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for your time. I hope you got value. What you have learned today, you won't see it in any other training program for free. All right, people would ask you to come pay to learn the how to create a portfolio, and that's all we've pretty much done today. You saw the portfolio we created together. So take it a step further. Okay, now that you know how to create a portfolio, what other things do you need? You need all the support we are going to be offering you at Nugget Analytics. Like I said, don't sleep on it. And I will see you in class. So fantastic. If you have already registered you and you want to switch, you can speak with your class coordinator on that. Okay, and all the requirements for you to switch would be told to you, either a class coordinator or any of my team members that you've been speaking with. If you've already registered, you are most likely to be speaking with at least one of my team members. So contact them, and if they cannot help you themselves, they'll get you the help that you need from other team members. So cheers, have a wonderful night, and see you May 10th in class.